Hi, Hersey. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I understand your studies took you from Tirana to Rome. How would you compare those two cities? How are they similar and how are they different?
Similar. Similar because I feel home in Rome too now. But different because we speak Albanian and in Rome I speak Italian. And what can I say? I live 19 years of my life in Albania. Then I moved to Rome. The difference, different cultures, different people, different language. But I'm used to now. I don't think I appartengo. I belong to one nation now. And I think I'm in the right place because Eurovision, it's like changing cultures, exchange cultures, and I'm very happy for this. But I can say that my beautiful Albania permits me to come here.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Aram, your profile says singer, comedian and showman. Which of these is more important to you and why?
In my life, the most important thing is the singer, because I'm in a comedian show. I am doing a musical comedy, so the parodies of popular singers. That's the first, my profession. The second one is the humor. So the first place, of course, the sing, and I'm sang about 7 years. I had a concerts in Armenia and other countries, about 1 or 2 concerts every month in Armenia, live concerts with band. So the songs, the singing is my first profession.
Yeah, hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Theo, how many of the songs in the Belarus national final did you actually write? Yeah. And did you feel at all conflicted as to which one you wanted to win?
That's a good question. See, the background here is that Theo was actually the writer of songwriter of 2 other songs as well in the national selection. So actually he had 3 chances of winning, you could say.
Что касается национального отбора, то была написана песня для себя, «Чизкейк», и да, была еще написана одна песня для исполнительницы Таши Оди. Еще была сделана аранжировка для исполнительницы Натальи Тамела. То есть можно сказать, что 3 работы было сделано в формате национального отбора, но с удовольствием могу поработать и с другими национальными отборами и написать песни для других участников. Поэтому всегда готов, обращайтесь.
So what about the national final? This year I actually prepared 3 songs. One song I wrote for one of our contestants, Tasha Odi, and also I wrote the song Cheesecake, and also one more arrangement for one more participant. So, and I would also like to add that I'm open and can write something for different foreign national finals. So please ask me, I will be happy to help.
Yeah, hi, Axel. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Can you tell us a little about your mother, please? And is she coming to Copenhagen?
Yeah. My mother come with me last week. But no, next week, sorry. But it's... For the moment, it's difficult, French to translate. Okay.
Yeah, we understood.
Now it's coming next week with my father, sorry. And yeah, it's very important for me. It's the support for me. And I make my best for my parents and for all people in Belgium and all in Europe. Yes.
Hi, Bassem. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio.
Nice to meet you.
In Australia. Nice to meet you, too. I understand you've been appearing in a musical recently. How is singing in a musical different from singing on a regular stage? And can we maybe hear a little from the musical, please?
Yeah, that's true. I did the Grease, the musical, sorry. And it was really fun, but, you know, the musical was acting. This is not acting. This is just me, so, and singing. But yeah, do you want to hear a snippet of, I don't know. Let me think. Before I was born late one night, my papa said everything's alright. The doctor laughed when I lay down. Is that fine? You like
That's
it?
good. Thank you so much.
That was my solo in the musical, yeah.
Yes, over here, please. And of course, yeah.
Hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia.
Oh, hello,
Hi,
Mike.
how are you? Can you tell us about your sudden interest in basketball?
Oh, thank you, darling, for asking that. I was a sports hater.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, you heard that?
Yeah, I heard why you love basketball. Yeah.
I was
I-
sports
I've
hater.
heard the story.
Yeah. It happened 13 years ago. Yesterday we had our anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're 13 years together, 14 years together, my husband and I. And he was playing basketball for one basketball team. And my brother asked me, okay, tomorrow we are going to see a new team. We're going to watch a new basketball team, blah, blah, and stuff like that. And I was like, basketball? Excuse me. And 2 days after, I got crushed in Milan. My husband's name is Milan. And several months after that, we got married. And that's how I got interested in basketball. And now I'm a huge fan.
Hi, Andras. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. You have a lot of fans who love the music. We've played it several times on the Hungarian program in Australia.
Thank you.
The Calais name pops up all over Hungarian history. Can you perhaps tell us a little bit about your family? And does it make it easier or harder to have such a famous surname?
About my family, the Calais. Calais, yes, I have a minister in my family, Calais Miklos. So I'm very proud of that. I hope I carry the name well. I'm the Calais singer in the family.
Yeah, hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I have a follow-up about the costumes. Who came up with the idea of all the multiple colours? And are you happy to be compared with the Australian bands, The Wiggles?
Yeah, this was decided on a meeting back in when? When was it?
Well, it was 2007.
Something like that?
Yeah.
And we had never heard of The Wiggles.
But we have now. And we like the Wiggles.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's all good.
But the costume meeting was an epic moment. The costumes were not supposed to look like this. They were supposed to look completely different. But the machine that was making the clothes couldn't keep up with our ideas. So this is the result.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia.
Hi.
Can you tell us about the influence of the saxophonist François Genot on your music, please?
I want to clap for you.
Clap, 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 clap. So, yeah, that's a good question. He's talking about, for everybody who don't know who is François Genot, he's talking about a great saxophonist, French saxophonist of free jazz. We worked with this guy a few years ago, and it was some kind of experimental music that we are doing. We are mixing free jazz, electronic music, hip-hop music, slam, like poetry, spoken word. And François Genot give us the free to free our mind and to do what we want to do. He's a great, great saxophonist. He played with everybody in jazz music, And yes, it was a very good experience and to meet this great musician, because it's an old man. He's 70, 71, 70, 72 maybe, but he's very young in his head.
I want to say something. Laurent made a project with François Genot and another beatboxer called Ezra. And it was simple. It was a voice, a saxophone, and a beatbox.
Can you do some beatbox?
Yeah, I can do some beatbox, like... Hands up, everybody, please. Okay.
Hands up, everybody, twin, twin. Oh yeah, Patrick beatbox, make some noise.
Thank you.
I love this.
We
That
can
is
do
awesome.
mustache with a beatbox like.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, slowly.
Yeah, like in an island.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Quelque chose me manque, mais quoi? Je veux ci, je veux ça. Quand je dors, je fais des rêves en dollars. Tous les jours, j'ai un nouveau costard. Chez moi, tout est neuf, tout est beau. Le monde pleure derrière mes rideaux. Je m'en fous, j'habite au dernier étage. Je connais même pas ma femme de ménage. Y a du cuir dans ma voiture. L'odeur de mon parfum me rassure. Je n'aime pas montrer mes émotions. À la salle de musculation, je soulève quelques poids et haltères. Mon corps est une machine de guerre. J'ai tout ce qu'on rêverait d'avoir. J'ai peut-être tout, c'est vrai, mais moi je voulais une moustache. Une moustache. Une moustache. I wanna have a moustache. A moustache. A moustache. Yeah. Queria un bigote. Je veux ci, je veux ça. Y en a jamais assez pour moi. C'est comme si, c'est comme ça. Y a toujours un truc que j'ai pas. Je veux ci, je veux ça. Y en a jamais assez pour moi. C'est comme si, c'est comme ça. Y a toujours un truc que j'ai pas. Une moustache.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I understand canlin is an Irish word. Can you tell us the English meaning, and how do you think the world would be different if people followed this advice more?
Conlin is, in Irish, it means sing together. And I think, music is meant to bring everyone together. So, and as for this competition, it's bringing everyone in Europe together and from around the world. So it definitely is, it does make everyone happy. Hi.
Hi, I'm Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Can you tell us a little about your involvement in the film Benvenute al Nord? And can we hear a little from the song, the Domenico Modugno song that you sang?
Can I speak in Italian now?
Of course.
Because I'm very tired. Il direttore, il regista di Benvenuto al Nord, ha sempre espresso dei grandi giudizi artistici nei miei confronti, gli piaccio molto e gli piaceva l'idea di far cantare a me una canzone di Domenico Modugno, che è un artista molto importante in Italia, che ha lasciato un grande segno nel suo film. Quindi per me è stato un vero onore poter cantare nel Blu dipinto di blu di Domenico Modugno all'interno di un film che tra l'altro poi in Italia è stato molto apprezzato per i contenuti e per quello che raccontava, per il senso della famiglia che ha espresso quel film.
So the director of the movie was always into Emma's music, and so that's the reason why he asked her to perform and sing Domenico Modugno's song, such a famous song in the movie, and she was very happy to accept it, also because of what Domenico Modugno represented for the Italian music and the Italian culture, so the sense of family and integrity.
Yes, up here, please. Lady in grey. Oh, would you sing a little part?
Volare, oh, cantare, oh, nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù con te. Thank you.
Hi, Vilja. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I read that you'd had some problems with your vocal cords.
Non-true.
No, not true. Okay, I will skip that question. I'll ask you a different one. Tell us about Zeno Christikovo and the influence she has had on your career.
Pardon?
Can you repeat it, please?
Tell us about your relationship with Zeno Krisnikovo and the influence she's had on your career. Okay.
Zenonas Knizhnikovas.
I didn't prepare that one.
We had a relationship. We did. That's why I remember. He was my teacher in a reality show. That's how I became famous in Lithuania after entering the reality show, after getting into second place. Unfortunately, I didn't win it, but it didn't stop me from singing and making a big career, even bigger than the winner. Huh.
So you showed them.
And Zenonas Knizhnikovas, he used to be an opera singer. He's an elderly man, and he did help me a lot with the breathing and exercising and training my apparatus, mechanism.
Yeah.
Over there, please.
Hello, Julia Zamiro, SBS TV.
Hello.
How do you do? Very funny. Pilou, you talk about looking for moments of something exciting happening or something unexpected, and as commentators we do as well. And the most exciting thing to happen in a long time was when a serial pest called Jimmy jumped on stage in the middle of a song during Spain. If something this drastic were to happen, I wonder how the three of you would react. Would you just play along, incorporate it, or would you
Could we reenact it now, Julia? Could you?
We sure could. No, we won't do that. But you can imagine it with your mind. How that would happen, because that was quite a serious moment. No one expected someone to actually come on stage and jump up and join in the choreography.
Was he naked?
No, sadly, he was clothed. Yeah.
Well, he would be allowed to stay. No, I don't know. I think that Jimmy Jump will be held back at the airport if he shows his face there. No, I don't know. When we talk about the unexpected, I think we talk about things which are going on between us three guys. And of course, stuff can happen. And I just think we'll need to go with the flow and see, you know, what are the other guys doing? It's the spur of the moment.
I think actually we're going to see the unexpected as a gift, because hopefully people will get to see us as human beings as well. That would be, you know, a good thing, hopefully.
I would kick the living shit out of him. I know Kung Fu.
That was the real answer.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Paula, I have a question about your experience as judge on the X Factor. We mentioned it earlier on. How did it feel to be on the other side of a competition?
It's so difficult. And this is why I'm not a judge anymore, because it's terrible to judge, and it's terrible to try to find the right note, the right tone, voice, to tell somebody who's full of hope, looking with the big eyes and waiting for your judgment. It's terrible. I cried a lot there because I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't concentrate on everything else, because I was thinking, am I doing the right thing? I'm not. I mean, if I say something, then if it was about what I think, then it would be a little bit different, this kind of contest, with no notes. No, everybody should be there and enjoying and having a great time, and I should not say anything. I would just stay there and I say, hi.
Hi, Tinkara. Alistair Birch from
Hello.
SBS Radio in Australia. Can you tell us a little about your project to record Slovenian lullabies? And can we maybe hear a little of one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. But you said you were from Australia. Okay, I have a cover of one of your unofficial hymns. Can I show you? Okay. But I have to remember, because, you know, it was 3 albums or something. Check in. I have to... give me just a couple of seconds, okay? Какой же тисти комат Down Under? Okay, I can't remember.
That's okay.
Okay,
Maybe
it's Down Under. Can you sing the flute phrase? Okay,
Do you know what
I
she's
will do it later, okay? I'm too confused now, but as for the lullabies, but don't sleep, please. It's, for example, Tajno nina, tajno na, mojga moža ni doma, kam je šel izolom, pono pinco kiselo. Okay.
Thanks. Hi, Sana. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Before I ask my question, first for Swedish television, a big thank you for looking after us so well in Malmö last year. It was
Thank you
great
so much.
fun.
Pleasure.
But Sana, your earlier work was sung in Swedish, and I think only in 2008 you released your first album sung mostly in English. Why the change? What is more difficult about singing in English, and what's easier for you?
Well, why the change? It was definitely because I wanted to challenge myself. I have sung in Swedish and I love my language, but I felt that I wanted to move forward and to challenge myself. That's the reason why, actually. And then when I was a little girl, I just was standing in my room and I sang to all of Celine Dion and Whitney Houston songs, and they were all in English or sometimes in French. I didn't understand that language, but I did sing it. But so I thought it was fun to do that.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. My question is for you, Waylon. Can you tell us about the influence of Waylon Jennings on your music, and did you ever meet him?
Do you got?
Do you have a couple
do you have
of
a whole
hours?
day? No. Well, the first, when I was a little boy, when I was like 6 years old, I wanted to play music. And I listened to Michael Jackson, I listened to everything that was on the radio, but it was too difficult to play. It was just too hard to get all the chords, all the dance moves, all the singing, whatever. And then I heard Waylon Jennings, and it just, my whole world changed. And then, it was 3 chords, and I could play a guitar to it, and I could sing to it, and I could understand what he was singing. And so I probably had all his records and could sing all of his songs. And when I was like 20 years, he called me up in the middle of the night. He said, "Hi, I'm Waylon Jennings." And I said, "Yeah, right." And he said, "Hi, I'm Waylon Jennings." And then I started to listen, and he said, "I want you to come over to Nashville and to play with me on tour." So a week later, I was in Nashville at his house with his family, with his people, with his band, playing my music. And so he's the biggest influence on me as a person, but also as an artist, but it's not that I want to play his music or be like him, it's just the way that he was as a human being, as an artist. That's what I pursue. That's what I want to be.
Hi, Maria. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Good evening.
Good evening.
Tell us a little about the music of your father. I know he passed away when you were very young, but do you have many recordings of him, and how has he inspired you?
Thank you. The very nice question. I was always inspired by my father because it's maybe like a genetic gift, the addiction to music from him. He was he was a legendary singer in Ukraine, and he actually made me, not as a daughter only, but as a singer. I'm always listening to his song, and I'm studying. That's why I'm the happiest person, because I do the same thing that my father did, and we are together always. Thank you.
Hi, Molly. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Molly, can you tell us where you were and when you got the first phone call or email about representing the UK at the Eurovision, and what was your reaction, please?
I was on a train, like an overland train, leaving my part-time job at Topshop on High Street, Kensington. And Well, I laughed because I read it about 4 times, making sure that I was reading it right. And yeah, it was very unexpected, as you might imagine.
Hi, Conchita again.
Hello.
Alistair Birch from SBS Radio. You look absolutely fabulous today, may I say. And for our listeners back home, could you perhaps give us some beauty and hair care tips?
Oh, well, people ask me how long does it take till my hair is done, and I always say, I don't know, I'm not in the room. And and the second thing is, which when it comes to makeup, I just keep on telling every girl or girl, dare, don't be afraid of makeup, just try out.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Theo, I understand you've been discovering traditional Belarus music for a TV program. Did you like what you found, and how has this influenced your own compositions?
Нравится ли тебе фольклор и как это интегрируется в твои собственные песни?
Да, действительно, в Беларуси я работаю в проекте «На первое то минулое», в котором съемочная группа отправляется в белорусские глубинки в поисках аутентичных песен. Впоследствии я их аранжирую в современное звучание вместе с каким-либо белорусским исполнителем. И тем самым песня обретает новое звучание, новую жизнь.
So yes, that's true. Together with TV crew, I go to village and find the really old folk music. And then I do a new arrangement and present this to one of the famous Belarusian artists, and thus give the second life to this music.
Я очень надеюсь, что то, чем мы занимаемся, имеет большое значение для национальной культуры, потому что многих песен мы уже не узнаем никогда и не узнали бы, потому что носителями, как правило, этих песен аутентичных, фольклорных являются пожилые бабушки. И, к сожалению, они уходят из жизни, и песни вместе с ними.
Yes, that's true, and I hope that it is very important for the culture also, because people who sing these songs are usually grandma, and they are very old and they die soon, and so it is very good to save these songs and to present this to the audience.
Hi again, Basim. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Can you tell us how the Danish songwriter Remé has influenced your career? And have you talked to Remé during the whole Eurovision process?
You asking me or the songwriters too? Me?
You.
Remy.
Remé, sorry.
No, not really, actually. Not that much, like 0. No, you mean this song, right? Cliché that song? Of course, he was a big inspiration for me, and back in 2008 when I did X Factor, he was my mentor, and he taught me a lot of good things, and he was like a bigger brother for me. So, of course, I look up to him and I respect him as a songwriter.
Yeah, hi again, Alistair from SBS Radio. And this time, I have a question for Tamara, if that's okay. Hi, Tamara. I'm going to ask the same question I asked your sister backwards. What's it like to perform with a family member on stage, a sister who's also the lead singer?
It is our first time that we are...
Is it easier or harder than performing with somebody who's not related to you?
Definitely, it's a wonderful feeling, and it's easier, of course. We are relaxed. We are both relaxed, and I'm very happy because I am watching her back, and I can see her from the behind, you know, and it's amazing feeling, and it's our first time that we are performing together, actually.
Hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I love the sound of your song. It really adds to the song contest, something that wasn't there before. The Shin formed in Germany. How did you meet each other in Germany? And how has Western-style music influenced your sound?
Zura. Good question. First of all, I want to say that we've never been in Australia, so we would like to do it somehow. Then, otherwise, the whole world, and maybe Australia is a really great country, I know, from TV and so. Okay, we met each other in Georgia, of course, not in Germany. We came to Germany together. This is other history. It could be one great big book written, but okay, I won't tell you about this. But the other question, what you put here, this is how we integrate with Western music. Okay, I would say that Georgia itself, really, it's on the border of East and West. And you should, if you never were in Georgia, you should do it. And you will see that it's very huge mixture there from nationalities also. So, for example, in our capital, Tbilisi, there are more than 104 nationalities live there. So, and this is very famous for Georgia that they have never problems. So, who is coming to Georgia, they stay there. So, okay, and in Germany, we have met many musicians. So we were acquainted, of course, even in communist times, we could hear everything from West music. It was forbidden, but we could manage through radio and so on. So we all of us, mainly we older guys, Zaza, me, Muki also, we grew up on Beatles, for example, and that was everything for us that times. And we knew every song from Beatles. And okay, then came jazz in our life, and we did it. And in Germany, it was great because we met all these musicians. There was not this possibility to do music with other nationalities, musicians. Okay, traditional musicians, okay, but I mean, Western, they were not so many of them there. And in Germany, we have possibilities. For example, we met great tabla players there from India. And we had some projects with tabla player and other Indian instruments also. And of course with Germans, a lot of Germans. We met a lot of jazz musicians there. So we are open always. Our group, the Shin, is open for all kind of music. And we try to do this, all the mixtures. For example, with Indian, we have some kind of similar rhythms. Indian rhythm and Georgian rhythms, they are very similar. Also African and Georgian. So for example, these 6/8 and like this. And and we had played with American drummer 3 years in the same project, and so on and so forth. That gave us, of course, we learned a lot from them. And of course, they learned from us also.
Thank you.
This is always great.
Thank you so much. The time is up. I'm very sorry. The time is up.
Hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Would you mind telling us a little about your appearance last January at the Cafe Sally Bowles? How has things changed for the bands now?
It was last year our first concert together, and there were 20 people, only 20 people, and a very untuned piano. And yeah, it was our first.
Nice location, very small.
Yeah, but very cute. And
no stage, no real stage. It was just a floor.
And the microphone was very funny. Ella was thinking the whole time like this because we only had one strange microphone. But it was a very great concert for us. And the funny thing, on the day happened that Natalie. She locked herself outside the door, and she she didn't came in, and we said, okay, it's just like,
and we tried to collect some money.
Let someone open the door.
Yeah, and at the end of our concert, you always get this hat around the guys who are standing outside there, and we just say, guys, we need some cash for a company who could open us the door of Natalie. We had a lot of fun this night, and yeah, it felt right for us. Our first concert, yeah.
Hi again, Andras.
Hello.
Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I lived in New York for a while, and over there, nobody's heard of the Eurovision Song Contest. So when you're talking to friends and family in New York, how do you explain the contest to them? How do you explain what you're doing?
I basically start off by saying, to me it feels like the Olympics of songwriting and singing. I think it's a great event because all countries come together. You get to hear all different kinds of music from all over Europe, all on one stage, all different cultures. Oh, it's a little time that all countries get together and there's peace and happiness, and we just listen to music and there's no problems.
No questions? Thank you.
Hi, we're not going to let you get away that easily. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I read somewhere, Vilja, that you started with a course in real estate. What happened to that, and can you really imagine yourself ever selling houses?
Well, it started because my dad is doing this thing, and I thought that if he's getting old, maybe old-fashionable, and I could be young, ambitious, and help him a little bit. But then I was invited to a reality show, and I thought that, what the hell, I'll go with the singing.
Yeah, hi again, Susie. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia.
Hello.
Going back to a past experience, can you tell us about your involvement with the musical My Fair Lady? And could we perhaps hear a little bit of your favourite song with the hand microphone, please?
Oh my God. Oh.
But I know in... Hello, hello. Oh. But I know in Portuguese, because we sang in Portuguese. Quero dançar, voar e nunca mais parar.
Hi, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I've been reading some unconfirmed reports that the Spanish singer Ruth Lorenzo was hospitalized recently. Have you heard this? Do you have any update for us on her condition? That's a question perhaps for DR. And then a more hypothetical question for the EBU. What are the arrangements if an artist has to drop out? Could we see a backing singer step forward, or could the broadcaster send a replacement?
Yeah, when it comes to the Spanish singer, I have not received any other information than you are referring to. So, but I would have if she was in a condition that she couldn't perform on this stage. So I'm confident. We have a very good contact with the head of the Spanish delegation on several issues, and this has not been a topic that I'm aware of. Apart from that, I've heard that she's not well, and I hope she will get well very soon. And the other questions was...
Is if someone actually does have to...
we haven't really had that situation as I can remember, and we have to deal with that. I think the most logical thing would be to have one of the performers in the act to perform, but to be quite honest, we have not put up any plans for that, and we have to deal with that on the spot. My experience from very many years in TV and also dealing with a lot of theater plays is that it will take so much to have an artist not participating on stage. I've seen people with broken legs and with fever more than 40 degrees centigrade performing on stage for a short time and then collapsing after. So we will. So hopefully we will see everyone on stage. This next.
Alistair, of course. Finally, I've been waiting for you.
Alistair. Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio. You may have heard of it. A question about your dress. I'm sure you can't reveal the details of the dress, but you can maybe tell us about the style and the design and the process. How do you prepare for Eurovision?
Yeah, the process took about 5 days. The designer is an Australian designer. We had about 2 weeks to kind of figure out exactly the style of the dress, the way I wanted it to fit, and it took the designer 5 days to make the dress. There's a bit of a train there, so I'll be flicking that around. So that will be a bit of a performance there with the dress. It's quite spectacular, very fitted, but I can strut in it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hi guys, Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Your composer, Philip Kirkorov, we've seen him at the Eurovision quite a bit over the years. What advice has he given you? And are you going to follow this advice?
Конечно, Филипп Киркоров дает нам очень много советов. Спасибо ему большое за это.
Для нас это очень важно.
Для нас это очень важно, конечно. Он нам говорит, чтобы на сцене надо выступить так, чтобы понравиться зрителю. Это не только надо спеть красиво, но и работать глазами, чтобы все получилось, чтобы все было красиво, чтобы получить удовольствие, чтобы
Самое главное — выйти на сцену и получать удовольствие.
И чтобы люди понимали сразу по взгляду нашу песню и о чем мы поем.
Of course, Philippe gives us advice, and of course we follow this advice. First, of course, and the most important of his advices is that you should feel not only seen, but you also feel comfortable and feel satisfied with what you're doing on stage, not only sing. It's one of his advices. So, thank you, Philippe.
Hi, Tinkara. From Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Can you explain the involvement of a previous Slovenian singer at the Eurovision in the preparation of your song? And has she given you any advice about the Eurovision, and are you going to follow it?
Okay. Before coming here, we made a nice press conference in Slovenia, and we invited different artists that were here, and 4 of them came, and the first one said, Tinkara, he is Lado Leskovar, and he is sort of old school, musician that was on the Eurosong even before Slovenia became independent. So he said, Tinkara, why are you going to Eurosong? You sing too well for that. Okay, I don't want to say that. I'm just making a quote, But yeah, he said that there are a lot of artists that come and go, like one-night standers, and he said, you are not like that. So, okay, but anyway, he said, enjoy, like the others said, and many other nice things about, coming here and being already a winner and very proud to represent my own country.
Hi, Sabalta. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. I'm intrigued about your change from hard rock to folk music. That is quite a difference. What did you learn when you were playing hard rock music that helps you now? And have you ever had a relapse?
Have I ever had a what?
A relapse. Did you fall back into the old style?
So, what hard rock gave me, it's probably is the first spark of energy. Because I remember when I was 13, 14, and I was looking for that kind of energy, which I did not yet find anywhere. And I remember I was 11, and at that time there were Aqua. They were very popular with Barbie Girl and all this music. And I was listening also to this music, but I started just like feeling something is missing. So when I first discovered hard rock, I mean I already listened to hard rock because my parents did also, but that was around the age of 14 when I really just like I felt and I fell in love with hard rock. Probably the first thing that hard rock gave me is this kind of energy, which is really important in whatever kind of music you play. And of course, I cannot say it's falling back to the hard rock because music is quite broad. I mean, the different kind of music are broad, and I mean, I cannot say, okay, in that era I was listening only to hard rock. In this era, in this particular period, I'm just listening to folk music. That's not the truth. I keep listening to every record I really like, hard rock as well.
Hi, Maria. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Before I ask my question, a big thank you to Ukrainian TV for looking after us so well at the Junior Eurovision last year. That was a blast. But my question, Maria, tell us about your studies at the Kiev Academy of Circus and Variety Acts. What did you learn there, which is now helping you at the Eurovision?
We all are studying the whole life to get something, and I got many technical things that I use on the stage. And I'm sure that my teachers are looking for the information in the internet about it, so they will hear it, and I want to say thank you to them, because I got an adult singer because of them. Yeah. Thank you for a great question.
A question from Alistair, Australia.
Hi, Conchita. Alistair Birch from SBS Radio in Australia. Congratulations. Can you promise us that you'll visit Australia during your first year, I should say, as Eurovision champion? And what are you hoping to see on your first trip down under?
Are you kidding me? Of course, I will visit Australia, and I would love to do it. I have to go to the Opera House. I know that's a big touristic thing to do, but, you know, as a musician, I have to be there. And it's actually overwhelming. Australia is also. This is just. Yeah. What did you say? Barbecuing?
I said barbecuing.
Oh, yeah.
Barbie, put it on the Barbie, mate.
Of course, I would love to come.